Yeah, we'll go over a few things and then we'll get to the bigger stuff. It says, do not attempt to change the channel. We own all of them. Excuse me. Do not attempt to turn off the set. If you do, we will cut the electricity. We own the power company. And if you try to get a drink or use the toilet, there will be no water. We own that utility too. Do not try to call for help. We own the phone company. So sit back, enjoy the show. We know where you are. And now, these public service announcements. The government is your friend. The government loves you. The government only wants to help. Doesn't that remind you of 1984? The book? Here you go. Alexander Graham Gore. He invents the internet. Eureka! Yes, sir. He's a self-taught idiot. And I think there's one more. Oh yeah, the kids love this. Wonder why your kids don't want to go to school? Here's these kids. Now this is 1999. It says, we won't be studying the Fourth Amendment today, which protects citizens from unreasonable searches, since it doesn't apply to you. 7:50, metal detector. 8:45, locker search. 12:05, drug test. 1:15, a desk search. Sorry. Now, what he has here is specimens. You wonder why your kids are scared to go to school? Okay, one more thing. This will remind you of what we have in Congress. What we have in government now. You better pay attention to this. When plunder becomes a way of life for a group of men in a society, over the course of time, they create for themselves a legal system that authorizes it and a moral code that glorifies it. Frederick Baptiste. Now isn't that just what Pelosi and everybody up there in D.C. is doing? They twist the law, they squeeze the law, they twist it into something that never was, like your Constitution. They have no legal authority. It's outside of the scope of their authority that was vested in Congress by the Constitution to pass any firearm laws. That's why the Second Amendment says, shall not infringe. That means they are constitutionally barred from infringing upon any firearm rights. Your 14th Amendment to the Constitution says the states can't do it either. Learn something, read it, learn it, pass the knowledge on. Okay, now, this was a big eye-opener back in the day. American Survival Guide, November 1994. And this really put a lot of us on edge. If you don't save this stuff, when you get into, if you go talking to somebody, you got to have facts to back it up. Well, where's it at, man? Let's do this. Questionnaire. Would you shoot U.S. civilians? It can only be termed as an ominous report. An article in the New American Magazine details a combat arms survey which was administered to the Marines on May 10th, 1994. at 29 Palms. The survey was given to Marine veterans from various units who had participated in either Operations Just Cause in Panama, Desert Storm in Kuwait, or Restore Hope in Somalia while they were under UN control then. A young Marine who was taking the survey managed to secure and retain an extra copy of the survey. The survey concerned U.S. sovereignty and control over its own armed forces and the ability to delegate that control to the United Nations. It also contained a scenario at the end which was so shocking as to be nearly unbelievable. Respondents to the survey were posed with a number of statements which were to respond to by using a scale that ranged from strongly disagree to strongly agreed. Included among those statements, I feel the President of the United States has the authority to pass his responsibility as Commander-in-Chief to the UN Secretary General. I feel there's no conflict between my oath of office and serving as a UN soldier. I would be willing to volunteer for assignments as a U.S. combat unit under a UN commander. I would like the UN member countries, including the U.S., to give the U.S. all the soldiers necessary to maintain world peace. I would swear the following code. I am a United Nations fighting person. I serve in the forces which maintain world peace and every nation's way of life. I am prepared to give my life for their defense. And the final statement on this survey, statement number 49. The U.S. government declares a ban on the possession, sale, transportation, and transfer of all non-sporting firearms. A 30-day amnesty period is permitted for those firearms to be turned over to the local authorities. At the end of this period, a number of citizen groups refused to turn over their firearms. Consider the following statement. I would fire upon U.S. citizens who refused or resisted confiscation of firearms banned by the U.S. government. The unnamed Marine who forwarded this survey to the New American magazine said the survey was administered by a Navy commander who indicated that the results of the survey would be used in a paper he was doing for his master's degree. Well, this Navy commander really sounds like a New World Order guy, don't he? Okay, guys, that's part of the stuff that I've saved over the years. We all assert opposition to gun control. They've been doing this for a long time, people. Oh, here's Chelsea. Oh, here's Chelsea. I better get this. First daughter news. Chelsea Clinton was in a church skit in Washington, D.C. last week. She played a contestant on a send-up TV Jeopardy. Given the answer, he turned water into wine. She responded, who were Ernest and Julio Gallo. No points. Dad watched in a Sanite high. Here's some more Chelsea Clinton. Now that Scalia's gone, we can enact gun control. It was April 22nd, 2016. She learned so much from her mother. Okay, thanks for watching.